shall get up and sit down. I'm here for the duration. Wow, I was going to leave it, but you know what? I'm going to enjoy it instead of just going off to cook or clean or get a few things that need to be gotten. They'll still be needing to be gotten in a while. That is just wild. I wish you could see how gorgeous those layers are. Now, I've never pushed the 0.5, the 1, the 2, the 5x before, but it is suggested that I do. Interesting. Okay, wow, pretty cool. Ooh, oh my gosh. Instead of me doing it and expanding it with my 3 fingers, this works so much better. It doesn't blur the sunrise, you guys. I'm learning. Wow. Now that's what it really looks like to my eyes. Wow, that is the real, that's the real, oh my Lord. That focus is really good, and I don't get that when I use the manual expansion of using my hands to enlarge the picture. When I go out, Carrie, if you're listening, when I go out to the golf, I'm going to do that ahead of time. And then maybe I can get dolphins or shark tails with my camera in focus, like I can see with my eyes, but I didn't get a few times. Hi Marianne, hi Brian, hey Bestie if you're watching, hey, hey Kelly, hey Ronnie. Some of my friends going back to the age of 7 and some back to the age of 19, just in case they're in the house. And I didn't know that a lot of people in their 60s don't do YouTube. I've been doing YouTube, I think, as long as it's been out, but that could be because I'm an old mom of a young child. So he used to need me to help him do things that kept me there. And now he reminds me things I taught him. Like, people aren't nice. If they say mean things, just block them. Don't think about them. Don't think about one mean thing. They're not worth being thought of. People that need to be blocked, Mom. I mean, he's so... Oh. Well. And those are very few. I haven't had to block anybody. I did take down one comment. That's it. So far, amen. Now the sun is almost dropped. So peaceful. This is the normal business life that I was used to before Jenkins let the stalking hassle neighbors, and then all of those they got involved with. It wasn't a bar party, screaming, vulgar, filthy, dirty, littering, mean, amped up, energy, hateful place. It was Steve Lamb and his wife, Crystal. They produced love and kindness and caring for the street and this community. It's been 4 years of hollowing out our souls by this batch of derelicts that have worked at Jenkins, and then they say they're subcontractors and you can't call us, call the police. Who wants to call the police morning, noon, and night for derelict behavior, to be group lied on, and then have that same company turn around and do a well check on those, me in particular, who called more than once to ask for vulgar, filthy, gross, disgusting language and music. We were used to this. We were used to Steve Lamb. Every once in a while, somebody shows up at night and unloads, does their business. Every once in a while, someone breaks in and is wrecking vehicles, and me, I'm the closest. I hear, I pray about it, I call. Steve thanks me, offers me a reward. I turn down the reward. I said, just like you told me you're my good neighbor, I'm your good neighbor. I heard cars crashing, and I thought about it, and I prayed about it, and I thought, call. You know? And it was that particular time, it was a young man who didn't want to go to school his senior year, and there were some things that he made it possible for him to do that, and then Steve corrected all that with cameras and second and third layouts of follow-up between people when vehicles were dropped off, or things after scheduled hours. That man didn't let a minute. One day he was in Spain, I didn't know that, but an employee flipped a cigarette, which I didn't know, but I did smell smoke, and I was getting ready to leave for non-emergency medical transport. Hundreds of dollars for a 4 or 2 hour booking. And I had to call, and his secretary, his private secretary, Diane, said, oh my gosh, I said, 2 women, a couple men, and a cigarette, and I don't know who, but started burning. And you know, I live in the woods, and it's summer, and I did give away a transport for safety. I can't leave my son and his caretaker here, and I've carried gallons of water and put it out. She called me back in a few hours and said, Catherine, Steve and his wife are in Spain, but he just put out an immediate no smoking allowed on the premises or off the premises during work hours. We are so sorry. And Steve says, thank you for doing that. That's what I was used to. I wasn't used to, ha, bitch, you're gonna get it, by Jenkins employees. And I was never mean. I always just called the office. And it was only when things were dangerous, like air compressors that were left on around the clock for months to the point that they were burning out and making the extra unusual sounds. And on a late Sunday, they caught it in time before one blew out. It can poison people, kill people, start fires. Or semi-trucks leaving great big pieces of metal that bolt vehicles in place that are bigger than the average human's head and swerve around it and then pick it up and take it off the road and say, oh, this was in the road. Where do you want it? And they're like, oh my God, thank you. See, that's what I thought would happen with this new company. And it was the opposite. It was anything that's done that you see that's wrong. You're the person that's wrong, and we're going to get you, and we're going to get you in a group, and we're going to come hard. Tonight's the first night in months and years that this is just a residential backyard not being, oh my God, aggressively stalked through my own property to show me that I better never say anything that goes on that isn't safe, because they consider that to be something wrong, and they don't accept things wrong, especially when they've created it. It's a bad atmosphere, and it's directly in my face because this is my home. I'm just an old lady that lives in the woods that was working, going to school, and or working and going to school from the age of 4 to 57. Even though I retired at 57, I'm the full-time mom and caretaker for my adult disabled child. And so now I just hope and pray on an everyday basis that my home and my front yard and my backyard will be safe from the man who stalked me for 22 years to the south of me, and his friends and family that work across the street, to leave me alone and let me be. That's my hopes, because here I am, sitting in the place where life has brought me, and everything I've ever done is to be here. This is where I am, and you can't just run, walk, or skip out from this. That's not something that can be done without losing major amount of money. And why should I have to leave my home and property? I've been buying it 23 years in February. I paid it off early, but February was 23 years when I was buying it, and I moved in the first week of May after gutting and renovating it, and I had some things to finish, but the all new insulation and walls and wood were in, and floors and heating and cooling system and sinks and electrical. I put thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into this place, and I don't think it should be destroyed or taken away from me by a group of people at Skyway, Jenkins, Homosassa, Chevy. And my prayers are that through the power of the authorities and people of good beliefs and standing, that is something that will come to pass, and that we will be treated with dignity and respect, all of us, here on Skyway, the way Steve Lamb treated us, and Crystal Lamb, and their son, Justin Lamb, and his wife. And they're raising Justin's twins the same way, with love and respect for the community that they built their business and life on. It's beautiful, and that's what you would hope for in life. That's how I was raised. This is the first time in years I've been able to sit, well, in 4 years almost, sit in my own yard and enjoy this beautiful peace and serenity that was in everyday normalcy, even though right across the street was owned by a multi-millionaire. I can only hope and pray that this is going to become the new normal again. And I will go forward and forget that those people who have done the things that they've done exist. And I'll go forward happily every day. And if you see me or meet me, I'm always happy and feeling good and praising God and never blaming God for what is done out of anything but love and kindness, because it isn't done by God, it's done by free will choices of individuals. Okay, so what I've learned is when you touch that number, to bring it in closer, you have to hold it in place. Oh, wow. Now that's how I see it with my eyes, only much bigger. Hey, over on my short, I told about when I moved to Los Angeles, California, to Torrance, California, rented room and bathroom from my mom's dear cousin who was like her friend, her son Rick, and his wife Rosalba. How I found thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on the street, and I had no money, and I just exited a thrift shop on Western Avenue where I bought a few outfits to work at the financial management company where I was hired as the head assistant to the owner of the company in Ranchos Palos Verdes and Silver Spur Boulevard, just one of the richest streets and one of the richest places in the country and the world. So I went to one of the best thrift shops I could find, and I was lucky it was within walking distance. So I walked over there. There's a really well-known Christian band practicing in the area, so I thought I'll just skip over there. I love to skip or walk over there and listen to them too. So I went and I got a few outfits. It was my boyfriend's birthday. It was November 19th. He also had moved to Los Angeles, California. is a programmer and a graduate from Central Michigan and Michigan State. He rented a room for my cousin as well. Back in the days when you weren't married and you didn't sleep in the same room. Anyway, get on with the story. I also had a job at the Manhattan Beach Kettle in Manhattan Beach, between Hermosa, Manhattan, and Redondo. What a blast. So, leaving, I saw this great big massive bag. It ended up with the FBI before it was all over. Head over to that short, and it's the one with the black cross that my girlfriend, my bestie Pammy, gave me. I gave you the short side of the story. It went on for quite a while, as things do. But when it wrapped, there was one less. Believe it or not, junior high, crack, hotel, business operating. Amen. No negative comments on how many replaced it. I'm looking at the good. I'm always looking at the good. I was offered a reward. I did not want it. I said use it. Just give it for research, for drug research. A drug, DNA, DEA. And the FBI officer, I could feel I was like something was in me that was unhappy. And he said, well, what do you want, Catherine? And I said, I would just like one person to say thank you. You told me I could have been killed. You told me I have to be careful for many years. You told me that most people don't do this. Don't pick up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and call the police. Most people don't sign off from a reward. And I said, this is how I was raised. I want to believe that most people are like this, and it's a few that aren't. He's an FBI agent. He knew differently, I guess, from what his perspective of what he saw in the world. And he said, what do you want? And I said, I would just like someone to say thank you for what I did. And a hesitation, and then he said with a softer voice, thank you, Catherine. And I said, thank you. And his name was the same as my great-grandfather's, William. And he said, well, you know where we are if you need us. And I was thinking today, my breaking point, maybe I need them. But maybe things have settled down and maybe I don't now. And that would be a good thing, because it's always good to have an ace in the hole. I got a lot of them. I'm probably never going to play them throughout my whole life, but I have them. May God be with all of us as we choose all good things from God and nothing bad from God. Free will and unconditional love are our gifts. Let's use them before we return to our homelands and we exit these vessels that we are here in. Oh wow, you guys, I'm coming out for the stars tonight. I just saw some after that heavy conversation. Let you see some stars. Yay. Let's reach to the stars from where we are.